Santa Cruz, the largest city of Santa Cruz County, California, is now known for its great surf, sandy beaches, moderate climate, and redwood forests. But back in the early 70s was reported to be called in the press the murder capital of the world. During that period, there were 3 serial killers on the loose. Edmund Emil Kemper III, also known as the Co-Ed Killer, was one of them. On May 7, 1972, Mary Ann Pesch and Anita Mary Lucchesa, both 18 years old, students at Fresno State College, were hitchhiking from Berkeley to Stanford University. Their friends at Stanford told the police they never got there. Both families filed missing person reports and sent photos of the girls to local newspapers, asking for help in locating them. The girls' fates would have been soon revealed, however. On August 15th, Mary Ann's skull was discovered in the woods near Santa Cruz. Anita's remains were never found. On September 14th, Aiko Ku, 15, missed the bus to her Korean dance class. She then decided to hitchhike from Berkeley, where she had lived, to St. Louis, where her class was held. On September 15th, her mother filed a missing persons report. On January 8, 1973, Cynthia Ann Shaw, 19, disappeared while hitchhiking from her house in Santa Cruz to Cabrillo College in Aptos. A California highway patrolman discovered 2 severed human arms and hands 2 days later. The body parts were disposed of near Big Sur. After 7 days, a human torso, badly mutilated, was found in a lagoon near Santa Cruz. 2 days passed, and another body part was located. This time, a surfer discovered a left hand south of Santa Cruz. 3 days later, a woman's pelvis was uncovered along the shore next to Santa Cruz. The investigators found that these body parts, pieced together, formed the corpse of Cynthia Ann Shaw. Her head and right hand were still missing. Following these disturbing killings, a warning was posted at the University of Santa Cruz. It read, "When possible, girls especially, stay in dorms after midnight with doors locked. If you must be out at night, walk in pairs. If you see a campus police patrol car and wave, they will give you a ride. Use the bus even if somewhat inconvenient. Your safety is of first importance. If you are leaving campus, advise someone where you are going, where you can be reached, and the approximate return time. Don't hitch a ride, please." This fragment is taken from an archival Inside Detective article. On February 5th, Rosalind Heather Thorpe, 23, and Alice Helen Allison Liu, 20, were taken from the UCSC campus. In March, hikers discovered some parts of their remains near Highway 1 in San Mateo County. The police made no progress in any of these cases. They had no evidence, no suspect, no witness, nothing to indicate who the killer was. Everything changed with a phone call received by the Santa Cruz Police Department on April 24th at 4 a.m. in the morning. "I killed my mother and her friend, and I killed those college girls. I killed 6 of them, and I can show you where I hid the pieces of their bodies." The call was traced to a phone booth in Pueblo, Colorado. A police officer was dispatched to the place, and there he found a white man, 6 foot 9 inches tall, 205.7 centimeters, weighing 280 pounds, 127 kilograms. The suspect surrendered without a struggle. He was identified as Edmund Emil Kemper III. The Santa Cruz authorities confirmed that his mother and her friend were dead following his statement. On April 21st, Kemper struck his mother's head with a hammer, cut her throat with a knife, decapitated her, and cut off her hands. Clarnell Elizabeth Strandberg was 52 at the time of her murder. After hiding the body in a closet, he went out for a drink. Edmund returned to his mother's apartment and invited his mother's best friend to dinner and a movie. Upon her arrival, he strangled her to death, decapitated her, and placed her corpse in a closet. Sarah Taylor Sally Hallett lost her life at 59 years old. Edmund Emil Kemper III was born on December 18, 1948. He was the middle child of Edmund Emil Kemper II and Clarnell Kemper. In 1957, following his parents' divorce, he moved to Montana with his mother and two sisters. The signs of a disturbed mind emerged at a young age. He cut off his sister's doll heads and compelled the girls into dangerous games. At the age of 10, Ed buried one of his family's cats alive, and at the age of 13, he slaughtered the other one with a knife. Ed Kemper made his first human kill at the age of 15. He was then living with his paternal grandparents in North Fork, California. On August 27, 1964, after hearing his grandparents talking about sending him to his father, he shot his grandmother 2 times in the back of her head and then stabbed her another 2 times just to make sure she was dead. Later, when he heard his grandfather coming back to the house, he got out to the car and shot the man twice. After that, he felt a pang of staggering guilt and called his mother and the police. Ed was handed over to the California Youth Authority. Following various tests, it was determined that he had paranoia schizophrenia and 145 IQ. Kemper was sent to Atascadero State Hospital, a maximum security facility for mentally ill convicts, where he stayed until 1969, when he was released at 21 years old. From that day on, he moved with his mother to Santa Cruz, attended community college for a time, worked various jobs. In 1971, he had found employment with the Department of Transportation. When the killings started in '72, Kemper was well known to the Santa Cruz police officers as being Big Ed. After trying to become a state trooper and being rejected, he started to socialize with them at one of the local bars. Until the day he surrendered himself, no one knew about his other side. Following his surrender, he told the authorities what he had done with the girls and where he disposed of them. He stabbed Mary Ann Pesch and Anita Lucchesa, took the bodies to his apartment in Alameda, dismembered them, put the body parts in plastic bags, and later in boxes. He scattered the remains on Loma Prieta Mountain. Aiko Koo was smothered with his oversized hand until she was dead, and he dismembered her body with an ornamental saber. Her body parts were scattered all over the county. He kept her head in his car trunk while he had a meeting in Fresno with 2 court-appointed psychiatrists to have his juvenile record sealed. The 2 men were sure he was perfectly sane. Cynthia Shaw, Alice Liu, and Rosalind Thorpe were shot with his .22 caliber rifle. He buried Cynthia's head in his mother's apartment courtyard and scattered her remains over a 2-county radius. The bodies of Alice and Rosalind were dumped in Alameda County and their heads in San Mateo County. He also raped and had sexual activity with the corpses and the victims' decapitated heads, according to his own statements. Returning to Santa Cruz, he led the investigators to all the dumping spots and burial sites, a 6-hour county tour. They found a decomposed, headless body believed to belong to Mary Ann Pesch near Old Santa Cruz Highway, a bone, possibly a human pelvis, and some clothing near Loma Prieta Mountain, an arm in a plastic bag at the bottom of a steep canyon off Rodeo Gulch Road, what may have been the skeleton of Aiko Koo from a makeshift grave off 2-Bar Road near Boulder Creek, and personal items of some of the young women on a ledge below a cliff where Kemper said he threw parts of Cynthia Shaw. Ed Kemper was indicted with 8 counts of first-degree murder on May 7, 1973. The trial began on October 23rd. He attempted suicide twice while waiting. On November 8th, a jury formed of 6 males and 6 females found him sane and guilty of all the murder accounts. He was sentenced to life in prison and is currently serving his sentence at California Medical Facility in Vacaville, Solano County.